Hello and welcome to the Horsemanship and Mindset podcast with your host, Kimberly Dunn of Idlewild Horsemanship and Mindset Coaching. This podcast is here to bring you the very best in tips, tricks, and advice to help you better understand yourself, your mindset, and your horse, because your horsemanship starts with you. Let's go. Hello, welcome to the Horsemanship and Mindset podcast. I'm delighted to have you here, and I am delighted to be back. So, I, over the festive season, took a couple of weeks off. I had everything scheduled so that everything would keep going. But yeah, I took a couple of weeks off, did the festive things, but also I moved house. So I've totally relocated across the country, from the southwest back up to the Midlands, to Lincolnshire. So I've just spent the last week kind of settling in and getting decorated. It's still not completely there, but the wonderful news is I now have an office, which is, oh my God, I cannot tell you how long I have wanted an actual office for all of this stuff. And I now have it. And I just have a couple of things that I need to do. I've got my office chair, which arrived today, which I need to put together. And then there's a couple of things that need to go up on my wall. But otherwise, we're there. So yeah, it's been a big change. It has been a literal new year, new start. So yeah, I'm excited for the year ahead and changes to come. And yeah, anyway, Happy New Year. I'm very happy that you are here listening. I hope you had a good festive season. I hope you have stepped into this new year feeling good. You might be feeling a little bit meh, as January often gets us like that. We have that high of Christmas and New Year and seeing people and slowing down. Well, do we slow down? It kind of, there's a big build up, isn't there? And then we slow down again. And that's where that low can hit us. So if you are feeling like that, I hope this episode today is a bit of a boost for you. And without further ado, let's dive in. So I want to talk about something that has been on my mind for ages to talk about, and I can't believe I haven't talked about it before, but it's the link, or I guess the similarity between how social media's algorithms work and how our minds work. And there's been a couple of times where I've talked about this and I've been like, oh my God, I need to talk about this on the podcast, or I need to talk about it on social media, and I just have never gotten around to it. So here we are. So have you ever noticed how social media seems to know exactly what to show you all the time? And we know our phones listen to us. We know that, it is following everything that we're doing and typing in and searching for, and then it will show us like ads and, all the things that it thinks are relevant. And our minds are the same. So if you watch one video on TikTok or Instagram or something about someone having a bad experience with a horse, or you look something up about not having confidence or something, and then suddenly your entire feed is people falling off, having accidents, warning posts, worst case scenarios, and be careful messages. It's full of them. And then you think, I knew it wasn't just me. It happens to everyone. It happens all the time. And then before you know it, that is then feeding into your mind about it. So let's say, for instance, you see a post about being single, or a post about having babies, and suddenly it's coming up all the time. So it's all you can think about. And the algorithm is changing how you think. But it's the same for your mind. But just to give you a personal example, so my personal Instagram, as some of you long-time listeners may know, last year I got into reading romantasy, became completely obsessed. I still am obsessed. I would highly recommend it if you are not doing it. Um, and so on my personal Instagram, because I was always looking up the characters, like the AI images and videos and memes about all of these books, that is all my personal Instagram feed is full of. And I love it. I love that. Um, and then in comparison, my TikTok. So I have a bit of a thing that I'm working on personally at the minute, which is Mavis, my little dog, who I love very much. I have this bit of a fear, a bit of a thing about her being attacked by another dog. It's a bit of a worry of mine. It's something that I am trying to work on because I'm becoming aware that it is a bit of a problem for me. Like I'll see another dog coming that's potentially, it's a bit bigger, or there'll be an incident, and I kind of attach to that. And so what's happened then is a post has come up on TikTok of someone talking about a dog attack, or someone sharing. There was this one that caused me a lot of problems where there's someone that designs a jacket specifically to protect your dog if another dog attacks them because their dog was attacked by another dog. Anyway, and so, I watch the video, I potentially interact with it, or I look them up, or I click a link, and then my algorithm is showing me more and more videos of bloody dog attacks or aggressive dogs, or, all that stuff. And that is not helpful to me in any way, because that is then feeding into my worry and my anxiety about that. And so again, I became aware of this and I was like, oh my God, I do not need to be seeing this. This is not helping my brain. And so I refreshed my feed. And now now my TikTok feed is full of romantasy books. It is full of bearded men chopping trees. And a couple of self-help things and some fitness things on kettlebells. So I've now curated my feed so it's full of good things. Oh, and funny dog videos as well. We love the funny dog videos. Now, I want to talk to you about why this matters, because the algorithm in your head is also quietly influencing you. It's influencing how you ride, it's influencing how you train, and how you feel around your horse, and what you believe is possible for you. Okay? So, just like we can refresh or reset our social media algorithm, we can also do the same for our mind. Okay? Now, I'm going to dive into exactly how this works, this analogy here, because I think is a really important one, and it's one that actually will help you to truly understand your mind and how it works, and why you think the way you think, why you see the world, how you see the world. Okay, so sticking with this social media analogy, your or an algorithm's job isn't to tell you the truth. An algorithm's job is to show you more of what you've already interacted with. Okay, so like me with the bloody dog attack thing. So I'm interacting with that post, I'm watching it all the way through. I'm potentially clicking on a link, I'm reading the comments. And your brain does the same thing. Obviously, not in a literal sense, but what it's doing is it's constantly filtering millions of bits of information, and it's asking one key question, which is, what's important here? What do I need to remember? What's going to help me? Okay. And the part of your mind that's responsible for that is called the Reticular Activating System, or for short, the RAS. Okay. And now I have spoken about this before. I talk about it in the book. I talk about it with clients because it is really, really valuable for us to understand our our reticular activating system, how it works, why it does what it does, and how we can work to change that. Okay, because it will totally change your mindset. It will totally change how you see the world and how you see yourself. So let's have a look at a bit of the science here and make it simple for you. So your RAS is like the gatekeeper of your attention. Okay, so it decides what you notice, it decides what you ignore, and it decides what feels significant to you. Okay, it is there to keep you safe, ultimately your brain is there to keep you alive in every sense of the word. Okay. And so your RAS helps it do that because we're hit with so much information and it needs to be filtered out. So this is what your RAS does. It's the gatekeeper stood there deciding what comes in. It's like a bouncer. What comes in, what's allowed in, and what isn't, based on your beliefs, your programming, etc. So it's there to keep you safe and efficient, but it is not there to keep you confident, to keep you happy, and definitely not to keep you empowered, which is kind of annoying. But in knowing this, you're going to be able to change the rules on what it lets in. Now we have another analogy of the bouncer, the bouncer of your mind. So I want you to just kind of note this thing here. Take it in as I say it. Your brain is not designed to make you brave. It is not designed to keep you confident. It is designed to keep you alive. That is it. Okay? So here's some examples of how this works. Okay? So how your mind is doing this. So maybe you buy a new hat, like a new, I don't know, the new riding hat that's the trendy one at the minute. And then suddenly you start noticing everyone else wearing it. Okay? Because your mind's training you to look for that. Maybe you've started worrying about cantering. And suddenly, every tiny little spook, every flick of an ear that's in a different direction, a stumble of your horse, or just a tense moment will jump out at you and will be a big thing, okay? Because your mind's starting to look for that one thing. The bouncer is looking for that one detail, okay? The other one is if you believe you are not confident, your brain will keep finding you evidence to support that belief. Okay? It is quite incredible, really. It's just also not helpful. Not helpful to you living your best life with your horse. Now, please know and understand this information does not mean that you are weak. This does not mean that you're broken, that there's something wrong with you, or that you're any different from anyone else, because everybody's brain does this about something, okay? Your brain is doing exactly what it's meant to do here. It's processing and functioning exactly how it's meant to. What we need to do is to try and shift that so actually it stops looking for all the things that might go wrong and it starts looking at all the things that could go right, or starts remembering that actually you do have the skills and experience that you will be okay, etc., etc. So, how can this show up in our riding and in our training? So, you might start noticing danger before you notice that actually you're enjoying something. You might focus on what might go wrong in the future. It's not even happening, rather than what's going right in this moment. Okay, so you might be, let's say you're out for a hack, you're walking along on your horse is super relaxed, the head's bobbing. And rather than thinking, wow, my horse is totally relaxed right now, listen to the birds, the sun is on my face, this pace of walk is really lovely. You're actually thinking, oh, what if a tractor comes around the corner? Oh, what if a pheasant flies out the hedge? So you're not able to be in the present. You're thinking about what might happen instead of focusing on what actually is going right in that moment. The other way this might show up is one bad ride outweighs 10 good rides. So you are only able to notice that one ride that didn't go so well, and you're totally disregarding the 10 that went well. Okay? It's like with Mavis. Like, I don't know, 9 walks out of 10, there'll be other dogs, there'll be interaction with other dogs or no interaction with other dogs, totally fine. But the one where there's a dog that barks at her or a bigger dog comes running over, and that's the one I remember. You see? I really need to work on it. You might scan your horse for problems instead of for softness, instead of for what's going right, instead of that nice transition. And you might interpret neutral behavior or body language as something's wrong and you're reading into it and you're overanalyzing it. And the thing is, the more we do this, over time, that becomes your normal. That becomes your normal set of rules for your bouncer, the bouncer in your mind of letting people in. That becomes your normal algorithm of, of your life. And this is how people end up saying, oh, I've always been anxious. Oh, I'm just not brave. Oh, my horse makes me nervous. Oh, I overthink everything. And you just thinking that's who you are and that's who you'll always be. And that is not correct. You are not overthinking. You are just running an outdated algorithm. Okay? Now, the good news is, just like on TikTok or Instagram, you get to refresh your own algorithm. You get to reset it. You can go into your little settings. You can reset it. Okay? This, I hope, is coming to you as a relief. When I learned about this, it was certainly a relief for me. And the thing is most people don't realize this. Again, you just start thinking that, oh, this is the way I am, this is the way I've always been, and therefore this is the way I will be forever. But your RAS, your reticular activating system, your little bouncer in your mind, your algorithm is trainable. Okay? Just like a horse learns through repetition, just like a muscle strengthens through use, an algorithm updates based on new inputs, your brain can be updated, okay? And it's updated through what you repeatedly focus on, what you emotionally react to, and what you tell yourself, because what you tell yourself matters, okay? The thoughts you think, what you say out loud matters, all right? Now, you don't change confidence by forcing positive thoughts. You change confidence by changing what your brain is trained to look for. All right? Now, I'm going to give you some reframes that you can use, okay, that are going to help you to start reframing. And again, this isn't what's the word? This isn't like toxic positivity or, me saying, oh, just say you're going to be okay and you're going to be okay. This is about retraining your mind. All right. So here are a couple of reframes for you. Instead of asking what could go wrong, ask yourself, what is going right now in this moment for me, for my horse? Okay, so that's one thing you can start doing. And that is then training your brain to look for the good things instead of the potential bad things. All right, and the more you can do that, the more you will actually make new neural pathways that lean towards that. Instead of replaying mistakes, I want you to intentionally recall safe, calm moments. All right. Instead of labeling yourself, describe the moment neutrally. Okay, so instead of saying, oh, I'm not confident, oh, I'm a nervous person, just say, oh, this happened. You don't have to attach meaning to it. You don't have to make it about you. You can just make it about what's happening right now. So, when you do something consistently, your brain will then start flagging the calm, the good thoughts, the positive thoughts as important. It will start seeing connection, moments of calm, moments of success as relevant, and that feeling of safety as familiar. All right. Now, what we're telling our bouncer, so you're giving your bouncer basically like a separate list of rules. So instead of only letting in the people, okay, that are labeled as anxiety, what could go wrong, you're not confident, comparison. It stops letting those people in and it starts letting in positivity. It starts letting in moments where you're capable. It starts letting in moments where you're calm, where your horse is calm. It starts letting all of that in instead of the other stuff. Okay. And the more that happens, suddenly riding, training your horse, being around your horse feels totally different. And that is not because your horse changed. That is because your perception did. The way you see the world changed, the way you see everything changed. And when that changes, you change internally. So your nervous system starts to shift. All right. It is all connected. Now, this is the bit that I want to be really truthful with you about, because most equestrians will try and change their mindset at the conscious level. So maybe it's affirmations, maybe it's a bit of logic, maybe it's pep talks. But the thing is your reticular activating system lives largely below conscious awareness. And it can be quite hard to keep yourself accountable and to keep doing it and not allow yourself to kind of slip back into old habits. And that is why so many people will say, like, oh, consciously or logically, I know I'm safe, but my body doesn't. I know better, but my body is still freezing, or my heart rate is still up, or I still hunch over if something happens or react a certain way. In my head, I know, like, I'm fine, for God's sake. But in my body, I'm still reacting. And that's your nervous system. That's where your nervous system hasn't quite caught up. And that is where this deeper mindset works. So the hypnotherapy, the nervous system regulation, and window of tolerance expansion, the subconscious retraining, that's where that actually matters. And that's how that can help you out. Now, this is exactly what I do, funnily enough, in my one-to-one work. So I do a lot of work with equestrians around retraining their internal algorithm, helping them to feel calm and capable in their bodies again, rebuild trust in themselves, faith in themselves. Giving my clients empowerment is massive for me. I want every single person I work with to go away, to know themselves, to know their own mindset, and to understand that they have the skills to help themselves. Okay. And of course, then enjoy their horses or horse, without that constant mental noise, to just be able to just be with their horses with no drama, and if any drama does arise, if any problems arise, they're okay because they know they can handle it. Now, if this sounds good to you, if you're listening to that and you're like, oh my God, I would love to feel like that, then drop me a DM or you can email me. I'm going to put my email in the show notes, and just say, I don't know, just say January or something, or say what you want help with, and we can look at working together one to one in the new year, because my books are open for January and February, and I would love to guide you on your journey back to yourself. And if you're not quite ready to dive into that just yet, and you want to go deeper into this in your own time, my book dives into this exact work. It helps you understand your mind, your nervous system, and to help rebuild confidence from the inside out. And it's a beautiful place to start if you're not quite ready for coaching yet. And it's a powerful companion if you are. So you can get that. I'm going to put the link below to that as well, but that's available on Amazon. That is in paperback, or you can, I was going to say Audible then. It's not Audible yet, but it is on Kindle. So yeah, check it out. And of course, follow along on the socials if you don't already. Follow the podcast so you can listen to me yammering on about this some more, because I'm very passionate about it, and it's really important to me that I have something that I can offer for free to people to help you kind of understand yourself a bit better from here too. And I just want you to please remember, before you go on from this episode, to know that you are not broken. Your mind isn't broken. It has just been trained. It's just been curated unknowingly by you. And anything that has been trained can be retrained. You have totally got this. Okay. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope it was helpful. If it was, let me know, give it a share, and I will see you next week for another one.